Virgo, between June 25th and 29th, a powerful shift is coming, and with it, 4 invisible traps. If you fall into even one, you won't just lose momentum, you could spiral into a karmic loop, one that delays your destiny for years to come. This is your warning. The universe is speaking. Are you listening? Every few decades, something rare happens in the cosmos, the kind of alignment that doesn't just shift energy, it tests souls. And Virgo, this time, you're in the center of it. From June 25th to 29th, the universe is watching, not to punish you, but to evaluate you. This is a checkpoint, a final spiritual exam before the next chapter of your life begins. A new version of you is waiting. But before you can step into that future, you must prove you've outgrown the past. But here's the twist. This isn't a test of effort. It's not about how hard you work. It's not about how perfect you try to be. It's about what you don't see, what you ignore, what you keep tolerating, even though your soul has outgrown it. This is the Virgo trap. You think because you're holding it all together, you're safe. You think because no one sees the storm inside you, it doesn't matter. But the universe sees everything. And over these 4 days, it will trigger you with people, patterns and subtle energy shifts. Not to break you, but to reveal where you're still holding on to the version of you that can't come with you anymore. You may feel drained, you may feel misunderstood, you may feel pulled between logic and intuition. That's not random, that's the spiritual exam at work. And the scariest part, if you miss the signs, if you brush off the red flags or spiritual nudges, you might just stay stuck in the same emotional cycle for years. Same lessons, same doubts, same blocks, just repeating in new costumes. But if you pay attention, if you listen to your intuition, if you finally choose what your soul has been whispering for months, you unlock a path that was built only for you. Because Virgo, this is no ordinary week, it's a gateway, and on the other side is a version of you that's more powerful, more magnetic, and more aligned than you've ever known. But only if you pass the test, and the test begins now. Mistake number 1. Chasing perfection when you should be choosing progress. Virgo, your brilliance lies in your ability to see what others miss. The flaw in the plan, the crack in the system, the misstep before it happens. Your mind craves order. You were born with a gift to refine, to perfect, to elevate everything you touch. But between June 25th and 29th, this gift could become a trap. Because the blessings coming your way, they won't look perfect, they'll look chaotic, they'll feel incomplete, unpolished, unready. And if you try to fix them before you receive them, you may end up pushing them away entirely. The universe is testing your willingness to trust the process, to release control just long enough to let something unexpected unfold, not because it's finished, but because it's aligned. This is the week where trying to clean up the mess might actually make things worse. That new connection you feel unsure about, it could be your divine counterpart in disguise. That strange job offer that doesn't check every box. It could lead you to more abundance than your current plan ever could, but only if you stop trying to make everything make sense. You see, perfection is a moving target, and while you're busy aiming for the ideal moment, the ideal version, the ideal anything, life is passing by. Opportunities are passing by. Magic is passing by. Between June 25th and 29th, you must be willing to choose progress over perfection, to embrace the messy middle, to say yes before it looks ready. Because here's the truth, what you think needs more time might already be right on time. So take the leap, say yes to the imperfection, and trust that the universe knows exactly what it's doing, even when it looks chaotic. Comment, progress over perfection if this hit deep. Mistake number 2, sacrificing your truth to keep the peace. Virgo, you've always been the one others depend on, the calm in the chaos, the one who holds it all together, even when you're unraveling inside. You don't ask for much, you don't complain, you just keep showing up. even when your soul is screaming. But between June 25th and 29th, this pattern becomes dangerous. Because when you silence yourself to keep others comfortable, when you bite your tongue to avoid disappointing someone, when you hold in your truth just to keep the peace, you're not being strong, you're slowly disappearing. The universe is paying attention, and right now it's trying to deliver you aligned people, real partnerships, soul contracts, connections that match your frequency. But here's the twist. If you keep pretending you're okay, the universe believes you are. And it stops sending support. It stops sending truth speakers. It stops sending people who see you because you refuse to be seen. Virgo, your silence has protected others, but it's hurting you. This week, you'll be given moments, small moments, subtle invitations to speak up, to set a boundary, to say, this doesn't work for me anymore. And if you let those moments pass, if you shrink back into your old role, you're telling the universe you're not ready for more. Your voice is sacred, your feelings matter, your needs are not a burden. And the people meant to walk with you will never ask you to shrink in order to be loved. This is your chance to break the cycle, to stop choosing peace on the outside while you wage a war within. Because the truth is, peace that costs you your truth isn't peace. It's quiet destruction. So speak. Even if your voice shakes, say no. Even if it makes others uncomfortable, be honest. Even if it changes everything. The next version of you is waiting on the other side of one brave conversation. And once you unlock that level of truth, the right people won't run from it. They'll rise to meet it. Comment, "My voice matters," if you're done staying silent. Mistake number 3, thinking instead of trusting. Virgo, your mind is powerful. You process faster than most. You dissect, analyze, recheck, and double confirm. You look at every angle before making a move. And while that's protected you before, between June 25th and 29th, it could trap you. Because this time, the answers aren't in your logic, they're in your gut, your dreams, your intuition, the subtle signs that don't make sense, but feel real. But if you try to figure it all out, if you wait for proof, data, or someone else's approval, you'll miss it. The moment will pass, the door will close, overthinking will be the enemy this week. You'll feel torn between your head and your heart, and the more you try to think your way forward, the more lost you'll feel. This is what we call analysis paralysis, and it's dangerous because it feels productive, but really, it's delay, it's fear in disguise, it's self-doubt dressed up as being careful. The universe isn't sending you logic right now, it's sending you nudges, a dream that won't leave you, a gut feeling about someone, a number that keeps repeating, a strange coincidence that feels too perfect to ignore. That's not your imagination, that's guidance. And if you keep trying to make sense of it, you'll block the very path you've been praying for. This is the time to trust your inner knowing, even if it's messy, even if you can't explain it to anyone, even if it goes against what's practical. Some of the most important decisions of your life won't make sense at first because they're not meant to. They're meant to feel right. And then the reasons come later. You don't need more time to think. You don't need another opinion. You don't need all the details lined up in a perfect row. You need to act on what you already know deep down. Because your intuition, it's never been louder than it is right now. If you've been feeling stuck, blocked, or anxious lately, this is why. You're thinking too much and trusting too little. Let go of needing a guarantee. Let go of needing it to make perfect sense and step forward in faith. Comment, "I trust my intuition," if you're ready to stop overthinking and finally follow your inner voice. These mistakes you've been hearing about, Virgo, they're not random, they're not coincidences. They are deliberate soul tests designed by the universe to reveal your readiness, not for punishment, but for elevation. Because right now, a door is opening for you, a rare one, a spiritual gateway that only appears once you've learned what needed to be learned, and you're close, so close. But here's the key. That door doesn't open through control. not through planning, not through perfection. It opens through alignment, through choosing your soul over your ego, your truth over your fears, your intuition over what's expected. If you've been feeling tested lately, in your relationships, in your routines, in your sense of identity, that's not a breakdown. It's a preparation. The universe is asking, will you go back to what's safe, or will you step forward into what's meant for you? Because coming up next is the fourth and most dangerous soul trap, the one that doesn't just slow your progress, it can delay your entire destiny if you fall into it. Stay with me, Virgo. This next one? It's the one that even the strongest souls miss. Mistake number 4, trying to do everything alone. Virgo. You've always carried more than your share. You've been the rock, the helper, the quiet warrior. You've convinced yourself that being strong means being self-reliant, that no one else can truly understand you. So why even bother trying to explain? And so, you built walls, not out of pride, but out of survival. But between June 25th and 29th, this habit of isolation becomes a trap, not a noble act, not strength, a trap that can distort reality, amplify fear, and drown out your own inner guidance. This season is not meant to be walked alone, not anymore. You're not meant to climb the next mountain in silence, because here's the truth. The longer you stay in your head, the more those quiet doubts start to sound like facts. And when you're the only voice you hear, your inner critic becomes the only voice that matters. That's the loner loop. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're actually disconnecting from the very people who could lift you out of what's weighing you down. Virgo, your independence is powerful, but your next breakthrough, it will come through connection, a soul mirror, a friend, a mentor, someone who sees the real you, even when you can't, someone who reminds you that you don't have to be strong all the time, that receiving support is not weakness, it's wisdom. The universe is trying to send you help, but help only arrives where it's allowed. And if you keep saying, I'm fine, I got it, I'll handle it alone, the universe steps back, not because it doesn't love you, but because it respects your free will. But inside, you know you're tired. You know the burden has gotten heavier. You know a part of you is craving someone to just say, I see you, let me walk beside you. This week, let them. Let support in. Let someone hold space for you for once. Let your heart be witnessed. Because your destiny doesn't require you to go it alone. It requires you to rise with others, to allow yourself to be seen, supported, and spiritually held. Your soul is not asking for attention, it's asking for connection. Comment. I allow support if you're ready to be seen, held, and uplifted in this next chapter. Virgo. Everything you've felt lately, the tension, the tests, the inner pull, it hasn't been random, it's been preparation, a divine setup for your next level. These aren't punishments, they're invitations, cosmic invitations to rise. The universe doesn't test what it isn't trying to evolve. And right now, you are standing at the edge of something bigger than your past, deeper than your pain, wiser than your old ways. But it all comes down to choice. Will you choose fear or faith? Will you keep grasping for control or finally surrender to the unknown? Will you stay stuck in isolation or open your heart to divine connection? This week is a portal, and not everyone will step through it. Some will cling to the familiar, some will retreat into old habits, but you're being called to something more. There is a version of you that's been waiting to be born, one who doesn't dim their light, one who trusts without proof, one who allows joy, softness, and abundance to exist without guilt. The universe is ready. The next chapter is written, but it cannot begin without your consent. This is your moment to say, I release the old story. I welcome the new timeline. I'm not here to survive. I'm here to ascend. Because Virgo, your soul didn't come here to play small. It came here to transform. Virgo. As you move through the days between June 25th and 29th, remember this. Every emotion you feel is a message. Every sudden wave of doubt, every unexpected burst of clarity, every moment of déjà vu, they're all clues guiding you to your next step. This isn't a time to ignore your feelings, it's a time to decode them. Because the universe, it's whispering through the smallest things. You'll start noticing the numbers repeating. 1111, 222, 555. You'll wake from dreams that feel more like visitations than imagination. You'll hear words in songs, see messages in license plates, or feel the energy shift when someone walks into a room. That's not your imagination, that's alignment, that's divine communication. The veil is thinner now, your guides are closer, the signs are stronger. But so are your old patterns, the karmic loops that have kept you stuck for months, maybe years. This is the final test. Do you fall back into the familiar? Do you let fear, guilt, or self-doubt steer the wheel? Or do you rise, even if your legs shake? You are being offered a choice: break the loop or repeat it. This is where your past and future collide, where the old you fights for survival and the true you starts to awaken. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Growth always is. But discomfort doesn't mean you're in the wrong place. It means you're in transition. It means the version of you that's been playing small is finally outgrowing the cage. So breathe, center yourself, pay attention to what pulls at your spirit, and gently release what drains it. Because what's ahead of you, it's brighter than anything you've left behind, but only if you make space for it. Virgo, you are not being punished, you are being positioned for alignment, for truth, for soul-deep clarity. You are not here to repeat, you are here to remember who you are. So when the doubt creeps in, pause. When the signs appear, listen. When the past comes knocking, don't open the door. This time, choose the future. This time, choose you. Because everything you've been asking for, it's closer than you think, but it needs the real you to receive it. Virgo, if this message reached you at this exact moment, it was never by chance. It was divinely timed, because you were meant to hear this before the window closes. The 4 soul traps have been revealed. You've seen the patterns, you've felt the truth in your body. You know now what must be released and what must finally be claimed. So now it's your move. The universe is watching, not to judge, but to witness your becoming. Will you rise? Will you step forward into the life that's been calling your name? Will you break the cycle and choose your highest path? Comment below, I'm ready to rise, if you choose to pass the test and step into alignment. Like this video to anchor this shift into your reality. And subscribe, because your next divine message is already on its way. This space is where the universe speaks, and you're not alone here. Virgo, this is the beginning of your new chapter. The universe believes in you. Now it's time for you to believe it too.